Hello and welcome back everyone to another episode of my big fat journey where, well, let's go ahead and talk about last week. Last week was a very, very hard week for me, and it wasn't like hard in any personal way. It was a bit discouraging with the weight loss. I tried my best to really have a good week with food wise, and I ended up coming in last Sunday, with a 0.6 pound loss, taking me to 274.8. And when you try so hard and you only see a 0.6 pound loss and you felt like everything you were doing was right, it gets to you. It really hurt me emotionally, and I was just like, well, shit. It definitely meant that things were not going the right way, that something was still wrong. So I spent last week trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? What is it? What am I missing? And my mind kept on coming back to activity. Maybe I'm not doing enough. Right now it's the downtime, it's the off season of the store. So I was like, maybe I'm just not doing as much as I used to do, with it being the slow season, and I just need to work a little bit harder or work a little bit of extra overtime to try and get a little bit more exercise in. So that's what I did. I ended up actually working 5 additional hours this last week, 1 hour per day, and thought maybe just a little bit more exercise, a little bit more trying to do different things during the workday, maybe using it as my gym, because I do not want to go to a gym by myself, but working by myself is perfectly fine. Maybe that would make a difference. So this Sunday came in. Remember, last week was 274.8. This week, 270.2. We almost got into the 260s again. We were really close. 4.6 pound loss, and we're back. We might be back. I'm not going to hold my breath on this, okay? This is a good loss. 4.6 pounds is a significant loss. It's what I was hoping to see. The bad thing is that we're right now at the point we were back in January 16th. And it's just like, it would have been nice to be further along than that. Because like when we got off a break, we were at 282. I mean, right now we're not very low beyond that. We're only 10-12 pounds. So it would be nice to be further along by this point, because we're halfway through March. And I only got another 4 months here until my next break with vacation. Yeah. How long did it take me to get from 270? So we'll go from September 19th, 4 months out, and take us to January. Yeah, I mean, there is time. We can definitely do this, because September 19th to November 20th got us to our lowest. Well, close to lowest, 253.4. So September to October to November. In a span of 2 months? Really? Dang, in the span of 2 months, I was able to do it. I was able to lose about 20 pounds. So it's just I'm just going to try and increase the amount of activity that I'm doing, and hopefully the numbers will follow. That's about the best thing I can do, and the most I can hope for right now is just hoping that the increased activity and keeping on how I am eating wise is going to be enough to get us back to the 250s and closer back to the goal. It was just really, really hard last week, though, only having a 0.6 pound loss, because I just look at that and I'm just like, I worked really, really hard this last week for half a pound, and I just didn't really have anything productive to say or anything really new to really discuss, except for my doctor's visit, which I'll discuss here in a second. So I just really didn't see a reason to publish a video when there's not really much to add to the story, to add to the journey. This week, though, we definitely had a lot more to add to the journey. Some good news, some knowledge of, it's just probably activity-based right now is where I'm struggling right now. Because over the past couple of weeks, we've been struggling. We had a 5 pound loss, and it went to a 2.6 pound gain, and then a 0.6 pound loss, and now 4.6 back down. We're getting there. We're heading in the right direction now. We just need to keep on the train. Get back to the 260s and back to the 250s, and then maybe hit a 240. That'd be nice before I go on break again. And lately, I've been really, really struggling with the idea of wanting more carbs in my diet, because just like something small, like a scoop of mashed potatoes or a corn dog, it's just, I'm trying to use it as fuel for why I'm on this journey, so that way I can go back to that point and have those foods again. But I also need to be healthier, and I need to focus on that part. So the suffering now means that I can have those later more consistently. So that's kind of what I'm trying to focus on right now, is suffering now for a better future. But let's get into the doctor's visit, okay? Because I had the doctor's visit 2 Thursdays ago, and it was very good. He checked my blood pressure, and he said, I think it was 110/80, which he said was perfectly phenomenal. He was impressed by that, and I was even impressed by that. I don't think I've ever had a 110/80. I might have been slightly lower at one point, but like for being there at the doctor's, and like having it done when you're in a stressed environment, because you're like, oh, this is all going to go wrong. That's how we all are. And to have that was absolutely beautiful. So heart is great. Did the blood panel check, and the only thing that was a little bit high was my bad cholesterol. But guess what else was really high? My good cholesterol, which means that here in probably a month's time, my cholesterol numbers of my bad cholesterol will be in a perfectly nominal level. And it's just great. It really is. It's really great when you go from being very, very unhealthy to having every single level from my vitamin D's and blood platelets to vitamin D and iron levels. Everything is perfectly nominal. It's perfectly where it's supposed to be now. And the fact that my cholesterol is not a concern at all. I was looking at being put, like I said from the beginning of this journey, the scare that I had that got me on here to begin with was the idea of being on, I believe it was cholesterol medication. I think it was cholesterol medication was the one that started it all. And then the idea of being diabetic. It's when you know that you had to do a turnaround at some point, and I was way too freaking young to start having those type of health problems at that age. And I'm glad that I made the journey and that I'm still continuing on it. I mean, I am still a great position from where I was. I'm over 200 pounds again, thank God, of where I was. And the fact that I was able to lose 200 pounds in that first year, I mean, no one can claim that. A lot of people can't claim that. It's such a proud achievement to have. And I just got to keep on track right now. These victories are great. A 4.6 pound loss, a perfect grade card from my doctors. It's good stuff, but I need to keep on using that to refuel my tank when there's expensive gas out there. I just need to keep on keeping on right now, and I need to not let my guard down. I just cannot let my guard down, because as soon as I let it down, and that's when things are going to go bad, and we'll start having that 2.6 pound gain again. I used today to go ahead and get rid of a couple more things out of the fridge that were keto, but were things that I was wanting to have throughout the week. So I had a 4.6 pound loss. I decided to treat myself today with just a couple little things here and there, and I will be right back on it tonight. Actually, pretty much right now. In fact, I've had, I think, 7 or 8 bottles of this today, refilled, of course. But I'm just trying to focus. Just trying to focus on things right now. 4.6 pound loss. Boy, would that be nice to see again next week. Is it going to happen? No. Would I like to see another 3 pounds? Yes. At the very least, goes back into the 260s. But that's pretty much going to do it for this week, though. Like I said, sorry I didn't post anything last week. If there's no good news to report, and I was more down than normal. It was a 5 or 6 minute recording. It's all I did, because I was just like, here's my numbers. I'm not happy about it. Here's what I'm going to try and do and see how it goes. And sure enough, it worked. It worked really, really well in my favor. So, but I just really, really want to make sure that I that I continue trying to see if it's this exercise, because I'm going to go even harder this week. I'm not going to work more hours, but I'm going to do some more at-home exercising, because I didn't include at-home exercising this time. I kept the bike over in its corner, and I wanted to see if just work exercise would do anything. Now I'm going to add the bike again every single night. I'm going to see how that does again with the increased work and see what our numbers look like next week. If we were to come back in with a 5-pound loss or a 6-pound loss, it's not going to happen. I hate to tell you, it's not going to happen. But if it was to happen, I'd be like, oh, I'm on to something. But if we were able to have another repeat of another 4.5 pounds, that, which also probably isn't going to happen, it would be another key sign that we're on to something. And that's all this is. It's just trying to learn what's going on with my body, because I don't have a physical guy here. I just have me and my brain and anything I can find on the internet, which isn't a whole lot for me personally. But we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully we have another good round, and hopefully I'm on to something here with these numbers. If I look at the amount of pounds I was losing this time last year as we were getting into the summertime, it looks like I had a couple 5-pound weeks, I had a couple 1-pound weeks, mostly averaging around 2 pounds. I definitely think we have another 15 weeks before the end of this deadline. If I was to lose 2 pounds consistently a week, which is, like I said, that's kind of what I was doing at one point. If I was to go ahead and have that repeat, 240 pounds. So realistically, even if I was only to lose like 1.5 pound average, which I think is easily doable, a 1.5 pound average, I definitely think that it's possible to get back down to 250. Time will tell. So what I'm focused on right now, though, is just trying to get this exercise continuing and doing what I can without having to go to a gym or finding someone. If I was able to find someone to do the gym with, great, but not happening yet. But that is going to do it for this week, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys back here next week